Ah, yes, streaming. So one of my worst kept secrets at this point is that I have been very seriously looking into getting into streaming, and this has been one of my goals since I began, like, doing this thing, when I have been making Final Fantasy XIV content for just slightly over a year now. And ironically enough, I have not been too shy about that point, while if you keep listening to this video, you're gonna find out that that is terribly ironic because I am super introverted and actually kind of scared. So before I say even another sentence about it, what is the point of this video? Which, ironically enough, I have turned into a series because these points are big. I'm not sure exactly what the point is, but I think that it is me trying to use intellectualization and verbalize my thoughts and feelings on streaming so I at least have somewhere to put my thoughts on. I mean, yeah, actually, for real though, it probably is literally using intellectualization to nail down exactly where my own thoughts are and really process what's going on, and just ironically using a video to keep everything like painted on a canvas and decide how I myself am going to move forward with this, because there are going to be hurdles, obstacles, and things that I want to get over with streaming. So here are some of the talking points that I wrote down for the points that I want to hit, and this is actually going to be broken up into separate different videos, and likewise I'm going to try and timestamp it because I know that people prefer timestamps and more structured content, which is totally fair. I am the exact same way. So the first point, which is going to be this video, is I want to talk about streamers I've watched and why I've watched them. What draws me to their content in particular. I know for myself that over the years I am very opinionated in who I will watch and who I will not watch, and my own tastes, and I've kind of put together what will draw me to a creator versus really push me away, because there have been creators where they have done something, in my opinion, that has just completely made it just impossible to continue watching them. And of course, this will not be for everyone, and that's totally okay. It's just going to be my own reasons. The second talking point is going to be on my own hangups and insecurities, what exactly the mental roadblock is, like what barriers I put around myself and why or how I'm trying to overcome it. And this is more about introversion and insecurity, if I'm totally being honest. Like, I'm genuinely terrified of being on camera in spite of me knowing I should do that, and even knowing that I want to do that, because instantly, as soon as I say that point, my mind instantly goes to Mr. Happy or Zeppla, who are two of my favorite creators on the long list of content creators for Final Fantasy XIV. They have been using a camera for years, and I found that their content is content, sorry, I'm tongue twisting myself. I should have scripted this maybe. But their content is just content that I have naturally been drawn towards, and I do think that it just adds personability, it adds like that human factor into it. And then I look into a mirror and then it cracks, because holy oh my god, I think I might create a mass exodus of subscribers if I turn it on. But my third point is going to be talking about my setup. My setup has been a source of infinite pain and frustration, and I mean like my camera, the Elgato cam links, the backgrounds. What should I have as a background? What do I put on this shelf? What lighting do I use? How do I make Philips Hue work like this? Or what about a monitor's brightness? Because when I have my monitor on like its current level of brightness, which actually isn't that bright, like my face just is completely flooded with light, and it just looks ridiculous. I have looked and it looks ridiculous. So yeah, that is the third point. And then my fourth and last point is on experimenting and learning on my own in secret. And I know that some of you actually stumbled across my little streams, and I did not realize I would be that easy to find even under different names. Not that, I should be clear, not that I don't appreciate the support, because that is totally not what I'm trying to say. I don't even think I deserve the support. Like, it blows me away every single time. But I'm talking about my massively how to say it? I'm literally working with my massively extroverted boyfriend and streaming with him like constantly. I'm trying to take the past few weeks of honestly like crippling depression and turn it into prime time to learn and test the waters with an incredibly large audience of one or at most two people. But then y'all, I'll get on like Twitch or something and they get like 20 viewers and I'm like terrified because of like points 1, 2, and 3. Not that I don't super appreciate it because I do, but it's just like I am internally very scared of letting people down and disappoint them, which I know is my own thing, and I'm trying to work past it, but I'll talk about that more in a different video. To move on to the topic for this first video in particular, streamers I've watched and why I've watched them, and streamers I did watch but was ultimately pushed away from and what caused me to run away. In the great words of nearly every drama channel, there's a lot to unpack here. And this is why this topic is so broken into separate videos, because I really want to do a deep dive onto each of these, because I think that these are points that will either really help me to succeed or really cause devastating, complete failure. Ironically enough, the first go I had at this was so long and so scrambled up that I'm going to try and break this down point by point with timestamps in separate standalone videos and just structure this as much as I can to make it easier to watch. So my first point for this particular topic on streamers I've watched and why I've watched them and why I don't watch other streamers is personality and cool talking points matters way more to me than content. And when I say it matters way more, I mean way more. I cannot emphasize, for myself at least, how brutally critically important this is to get right for me to watch any stream at all on any topic. So the absolute number one reason I tune into any content creator, and has been true for over a decade, is because I'm interested in their viewpoints and their talking points. I want to hear what they are saying. I want to hear them banter about a particular topic. Their opinion is insightful, or maybe they're talking about just something I'm extremely passionate on or extremely opposed to, so I become curious to hear their side of the story. I definitely take it where even if I may not agree with you, I'm still interested to hear what you're saying. I was definitely grown up in a very open-minded household where we do listen to like all these different viewpoints, and when I'm even hearing someone talking about something that I might be intrinsically opposed to, I'm like, sure, like educate me on this topic, like why do you think this way? Like I find the engagement, the banter, I find that I'm a very curious person, and I'm just like, that is one like so important. So like, let's take examples like Asmongold rating food, which you'd think would be the stupidest topic, because it's just like, okay, by now, like you're in your 20s, you know what you'd like or what you don't like, but I still watched this. I still found it cool. Or Asmongold at Taco Cabana. And I remember I actually watched this particular video after I got laid off, literally from my first job, which was devastating. And it is seriously, I remember this Taco Cabana video. I don't know if it's this particular upload of the stream, but I remember I watched this, and I just remember that there was a huge amount of relatability of like going into the Taco Cabana and with the drink and the straw and the ordering. It just made me feel better when I was honestly depressed as a laid off loser. Or what about Asmongold talking about Baja Blast, which I still haven't been able to get because LOL Poggies. Did I really just say that? Oh well. 2020 and 2021 has been very bad. It's been me mortified of even sticking out my toe outside my door to walk outside with Brendan in nature because it might infect my mom. Different video is all I can say. Really bad. Or what about different creators' streams that I watch? I do watch Limit Maximum because I want to learn to be a better raid leader and take techniques he does into Final Fantasy XIV. And spoiler alert, yes, that does mean that I am looking at making a raid team of my own. Or take Pilaf, and honestly I just love pretty much everything Pilaf does, so. Now I know that my comment section is going to be flooded with questions about why has this loser Cole Evyx been watching World of Warcraft creators for years as a Final Fantasy XIV creator who literally only began playing World of Warcraft 6 months ago to learn new stuff to take into Final Fantasy XIV. Good point. And that is exactly why I brought it up. Because I honestly care so much less about the particular piece of content they are doing. This is my number one biggest point, because I want to be engaged with a creator. I want to hear their banter on the topic and thoughts and feelings, even if it's a topic that I don't necessarily intrinsically care about that much. Or on the other side, like Limit Maximum, I want to hear his thoughts as a raid leader in such a big big guild that has been so successful. I want to hear what he has to say, and for me to learn more about raid leading so I can take that knowledge forward with me. Like, I've watched Asmongold since he was on YouTube and didn't stream, and he was doing, like, warrior guides, soloing things, and gold guides with mass AoE. How to say it? I never was really able to afford a WoW subscription as a kid because, while I do have two extremely loving parents who to this day support me to their fullest, a $15 subscription per month was not in the cards, yet I still watched Asmongold and have since like his day 2 of streaming too, because I was 100% like a YouTube fanboy. I know, cringe. It's an interesting parasocial relationship. I know. Like in my mind, I'm just like, oh, like he's my older brother. Like even though obviously not. Oh, I'm just making myself sound even dumber. It was. Point is, I missed his first day stream and I was super salty because I missed it, but I was quick on the bandwagon after that. But now on the flip side, the dangerous point is that, and this is really important point actually, is on the flip side, if you are doing content that you would think that I would or could be interested in, like say Ultimate Progression or Eden Reclear for the week, I don't watch those streams. I don't. And anyone saying that I am, like, that's someone else pretending to be me. Like, I have not watched those streams, unless you're a friend of mine and have been like, can you tune in on this? And I'll be like, okay, sure. But for me, I don't watch streams for Reclear content or progression raid content. It's not my thing, and I hope that no one takes offense to this or, like, tries to cancel me for saying that. Like, I mean it from a place of genuine authenticity. Like, it is just not my kind of content. It's not what I'm here to watch. I'm never going to just tune into a faceless stream where someone isn't interacting with the audience actively or who is just doing like E9 to E12S clears. I get it. As someone doing those fights this tier, it's not easy to banter and hold a deep discussion on a topic while doing mechanics and enough DPS to defeat the enraged timer. I know I can't do that. I have been trying to learn with Brendan, and wow, that is genuinely hard. I get it. But that is not my thing. And as someone who is actively doing Savage with my raid group, I just can't gain anything from watching that. That is not the kind of content I'm here for. But now let's delve into the other side, which there are many streamers in the housing community that I watch. And I'm not very active or vocal, but I have been one to like, or rather, I have never been one to engage in stream chats because honestly, they go too fast. And on the other side, I'm scared to bother someone. Like, I'm severely introverted, and I don't know if that's come across in my videos or is surprising to anyone. I don't know, but if I send a message, I go, oh no, I sent it, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot, I ruined everything, oh my god, I'm gonna be so annoying, they're gonna hate me, I'm gonna be a spammer, which I know makes no sense and like logically is completely bankrupt logically, but I'm not the type to send messages. I never have been, not about to start. I suck at starting an interaction. In fact, I know you're gonna judge me for this, but I know that I have definitely in the past gone out of my way actively to subscribe to other creators and like and follow them when their stream is offline. And I'm not even joking, because I am mortified of being found out. And I know some of y'all have already found out my Twitch aliases, and even under a different name than Cole Evyx, I'm still way too scared to hit the follow or like button or subscribe and get a shout out. Like them saying like, wow, thanks alias for the subscribe, you're awesome, you've been here for months and I really appreciate that. My brain translates that into, oh my god, I'm going to die. Okay, so now I'm going to try and reel this back to the point. Interesting creators, like more interesting creators that are going to be unexpected. Like, I have watched Trisha Paytas for years now, and I know people are going to be like, what? What? Like, I know she's not in the gaming sphere, I get it. Like, but Trisha Paytas is someone I've watched. And why? Because I find her content engaging, funny, interesting, honestly relatable in many ways. And this was even years ago about her speaking about some of her battles and struggles. It was really something I related to deeply on a personal level. And some people say it's trolling, but to me, as someone who has been through the deep with trauma, honestly, putting on a Trisha Paytas video and hearing someone talk about the struggles really did help me deeply. Or like Ready to Glare video, where she is talking about some of her experiences. Like, I remember an older video of hers now about her being a teacher, imposter syndrome, and the rest. And I know that that is going to be a shock to a lot of people watching this video, but I absolutely do find myself drawn to this type of content. And in a way, it felt very relaxing and unnerving to hear someone speak about this. But when I go back into the streaming world, just to tie up this point with a bow, I am watching because I want to hear from this creator. I want to hear their thoughts, their opinions, their feelings. I'm not watching them to see them clear another fight that I have already gone on farm. Or sometimes, like, I don't even care if there's any gameplay, like the Trisha Paytas example. But, like, I've watched streams of people like Ice Poseidon literally walking outside and eating at a restaurant. Yes, literally. Like, no gameplay at all. Or I'm thinking like Jenna Marbles. Like, when Jenna Marbles was streaming, hi. Like, I was like doing that, even though like the games played weren't my kind of thing. Like, Elder Scrolls Online is interesting to me from an MMORPG perspective, but again, I was there for the personality. And like, just looking through it, it's just like I did that because I found the creator interesting for themselves and who they were and their thoughts and opinions. Looking at my habits of watching people, I don't even care what you're doing. In fact, I know that some of my videos from Asmongold are like the oldest old videos from Zach Rar, buried so deep in his channel, it's funny, and they have like nothing to do with gaming. It's just like the most random things. Or like more recent videos are like him going to talk about with Baja Blast, and I do feel dumb and ridiculous for saying it. And I mean, I might get canceled for saying it on a YouTube video, but this is the kind of content I enjoy. I like seeing Asmongold go to Baja Blast. I mean, Taco Bell from Baja Blast. I'm trying to do this unscripted so it can be genuine, but rip. So this actually kind of brings me to my second point, which is manners and respect and drama. Oh, this is actually so important. Manners and respect, as far as I'm concerned, is a very easy point. If someone is engaging and trying to help you by liking or following or subscribing to you, which is literally giving you money as a creator, I think that the least that you can try and do is acknowledge it. Maybe you need to do a setup or like structure your stream where you're maybe doing like a podcast type stream and you can't be interrupted, or you don't want to be like, thank you for the subscribes, thank you for the subscribe. Like, I'm thinking like big podcasts like H3 podcast, and you need to wait until the end of the stream because you need to really focus on the content then or there. Or like a raid clear would be something similar. But at least have that set up. And I've seen so many streamers get donations and just wave it off like nothing happened, or outright ignore viewers completely. And I mean, it's not just like, oh, they were waiting to the end. It's like, no, they literally were ignoring. Like, I have been streaming has been going on for so many years now, and I've been seeing so many streams. I hate that. And it's actually fascinating because I'm in a weird position myself, because I already have gone people hitting the join button on YouTube. And I need to be super honest. I have seen this. I have absolutely seen it. And I am so deeply humbled and surprised by the support. The problem is that button is so impersonal, and I don't really have the opportunity to thank them directly. But if you're listening to this, then please know that holy fudge biscuits, like, wow, I don't think I've earned it yet. In fact, I know I haven't earned it yet. At least I don't feel I've earned it yet. But seriously, thank you so much. Like, it blows my mind. But ironically enough, that's exactly why I have not turned on Patreon or anything else. Because a lot of people, and it's... it always blows me away when I hear people say that they want me to open a Patreon so that they can just throw like a $20 my way. And I'm like, whoa. Like, oh my god. Like, that, I don't think anyone realizes, like, that's crazy to me. Like, it always throws me back. But I have not opened that because I don't feel I deserve it yet. I have not released my website. I have not begun doing streaming. I honestly feel like, because I have been such a failure on so many fronts, that I should turn off the join button, because similarly, I don't feel I deserve it. And I did just set it up because I was like doing a YouTube channel setup months ago as a part of the YouTube setup in general. But I digress. Sorry, that is that is way off the point of this video. But let's try and go into the other point of this, which is drama, because this is the point that will make me run away from you as a creator so incredibly fast. It's so I know that most of us, or I think literally everyone, I think everyone has had that kind of friend or acquaintance like this. It's like when you hear that friend or acquaintance talk very poorly, just ripping into another friend or acquaintance that you knew in your group, and you can't help but wonder, are they saying the same things about you behind your back to others? Because it's just like one thing I have noticed over the years, like I'm far from old, but like look at me, like this humble like 20-year-old, like nothing, like not 20, I'm now in my 20s, but like I've just seen people do this where they'll like put their claws into someone else in real life, and then they'll put their claws into someone else, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh wait, the person that they just put their claws into, they're talking smack about you to them. And it's like, what? It makes me feel so uncomfortable. It's just, ugh. Thankfully, it's so bad. But it's when I see the claws come out from a creator and dig into another creator, I just wonder how long until those claws come out and dig into even me. And I felt this way even long before I made this channel, like way before. Like I was never a target as like a viewer, like I was nothing. From that perspective though, it also makes me feel really, really small and insignificant and unimportant to that creator as a viewer. Like if they can go after someone that is a part of their community and creation, then wow, what would they even say about me? And then I had never asked this question myself, and I'm kind of glad I never have, because I don't think I'd ever want the answer, nor do I think I'm even that important to ask this question. But I've seen some creators pop off, like completely pop off. I'm not just saying that as like a statement because like people like that as a buzzword, but I've seen them like start yelling and like rip into people and just like saying to their viewers to take their subscription money back, to leave the community, and basically diminish the support. It's like my eyes go like maximally wide, and I'm like, whoa, what? Oh my god. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. And for the record, I've never been targeted by this, but you will see like YouTube clips of a streamer like doing this and like getting really mad and like yelling. And like the examples I'm thinking of in particular are like from 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so twisted to me. Like that is the easiest way for me to run away and just be like, oh no, this isn't for me. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. But now, more specifically on like creator drama, is like for me, I know I'm really into respect and uplifting the community. Like when I made this channel, it was all about growth, fostering development of people, helping people improve, and really uplifting the community. It wasn't like some ego thing. Like for me, I'm here, I almost think of it more as like a way to like give back to the community that has given me so much. But digress. But I do not like when other people attack others. I don't care how big or small their platform is. There is no such thing as punching down or punching up, in my opinion. We're all people, okay? We all bleed. We are all human. I don't like fighting. But like when people fight, that is not the friendly, wholesome, parasocial relationship I want. And I've had many friends that were catty, like real life friends that were catty and into fighting one another before, in the shade and the drama. And over the last few years, I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed at it, but I have really disconnected from basically all of my past friend groups, and in my opinion, for the better. And so honestly, it does go way past streaming. I don't like toxic people. I've worked with them in jobs, I've worked with them as friends, as acquaintances, and I've worked very hard to get to the point where I have very few of these kinds of toxic relationships in my life. Hence why you do see many topics come up that other creators cover, but not me, because I don't welcome that into my house. The house of Evyx does not do that, and will not start doing that. If someone does something truly nasty, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want that sort of thing near me. I don't want to give off that energy, and I like Freudian slip to give up. I don't want to give up the growth, the learning, community, the uplifting people that I really feel I've built this channel on. And I mean, it always blows me away that I've gone to like 7,000 subscribers in just a little over a year. And I really believe that the core principle of why I've even gone here is because I uplift people, because I try and like talk about like things like mental health and like helping people and really foster a community. And I think that as soon as you delve into the negative, that it becomes such a slippery slope. I even know in even my own depressive patterns that I've even been in recently, that as soon as you get into that depressive spiral, it's becomes so easy to slip down, and just the velocity that you hit when you start going down that negative spiral just hits peak. And no, like I cannot do that. And like, I'm thinking about some channels from years ago that I used to be avid follower, like that is the kind of follower that I could ever dream to have, was me to some of these channels. And they did some videos, like 1 or 2 videos on big drama, like Dramageddon with James Charles, and then they see a massive spike of views, and then all of a sudden their pleasant, refreshing, like very homely gaming channel and content that I love becomes pure drama content. Which makes sense, because if you want more money, you absolutely need those views, and those views feed the algorithm and spins up a channel. It honestly is that basic. But honestly, no offense, but my interest in that sort of thing is zero. I have HBO if I want drama. I have RuPaul's Drag Race if I want drama. Real drama, like real life drama, makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable. Like when I go onto a streamer stream and I see them attacking another creator, I am so incredibly uncomfortable immediately. It doesn't matter how long I've been with that streamer, it is so uncomfortable. And I meanwhile sometimes see people in the chat cheering them on, and I'm like, what? That's like, I don't belong here. I don't belong here is all I can think when that happens. But not to mention that even when you are talking like and digging your claws into another creator, it is always a one-sided street where that creator can't even defend themselves. And it just, yeah, this is like the surefire way to make me run from the stream and unsubscribe. It hits me wrong from all the angles. I just can't support that kind of thing. Like me as a content creator now, but me as a viewer, and just a viewer years ago, like I can't get behind that. I can't get behind that. Now, my third point is on size, and this is going to be a short point, but I myself find myself gravitate towards smaller creators, and especially in the Final Fantasy XIV community, I feel like a smaller creator really feels like a creator that I can like really get behind, especially when they have like you and like maybe 10 others there that you can actually see the chat and you can read it comfortably, and like there will be like this healthy, happy banter. And I like it when there's no formal moderator that's swinging a ban hammer at the rate of like 4 bans per minute or something crazy like in Asmongold streams. And I'm just gonna be honest, that in my opinion is the part of Asmongold streams that I resent the most. I'm gonna be honest, I resent it. I do not enjoy it. To me, the bigger the stream is, the bigger the disconnect is for me, for most creators. And this is something that's only really repaired when I thought about it. If there's like something going on in the stream, like maybe Asmongold's talking about a fast food tier list, or something like that is gonna get me still feeling like I'm involved. Regardless if you have like, I don't know, like 25,000 like concurrent viewers, like, yeah. But even when I look at streams to watch, I go like to the bottom of the list, which I know everyone's gonna be like, ew, why do you do that? No one does that. I do that. I want to be in these 10 to 15 people rooms with a creator who's actively engaging in the stream. As soon as it gets much bigger than even 50 people, suddenly I feel completely disconnected, and it feels like a lot of the magic is disappearing. Of course, if you are over 50 viewers, then that's obviously really, really impressive. I have heard some of the bigger streamers like just casually talk about like, oh, if you have 1,000 views, you're a small streamer. I'm like, like, clearly you don't remember your roots, because to me, I think, how to say it? I think it's so disconnected from the fact that you literally have like 50 distinct people with their dreams, experiences, goals, and ambitions, and like stuff like tuned into you. Like, to me, 50, it's huge to me. Like, don't even get me started on how trippy it is seeing my sub count at almost 7,000 in like a little over a year now. It blows my mind to a level I still can't process, and I mean it. It's wild. It's something I never expected. But to cap the point off is I do like smaller sizes myself, which does lead into my fourth point, which is engagement that I'm going to get into right now. And so engagement is big to me. It is big, 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 big. It will drive me away from your stream no matter what you do. Even if you check off all the other points, if you don't have this, it's over. So I do want to say before I get into opening this point with an example that I just recently had, that it's not meant to come off as petty. And it really is not, and it is just a personal experience that I had, and it's a poor personal experience, unfortunately. And it's one feeling that I never want a viewer of mine to feel, and I will do everything I can to combat this, because this feels really bad. So there was a World of Warcraft streamer who was streaming high-level healer gameplay in Mythic Plus, and I very, very, very rarely ask questions. I meant it when I said earlier in the video that I'm a huge introvert, but I saw that they were playing a Restoration Druid, and I asked them their thoughts on something related to adaptive swarm changes that was just in a recent patch. And as I said, this was very recently, and I was asking how like Resto Druid would do with that, and no answer. And for the record, no, chat was really not going fast. Like maybe one message per 2 minutes or one message per minute or so. No answer. Waited. No answer. Waited even longer. No answer. I was so incredibly bummed out after that experience. I'm still thinking it will sound petty, but I swear it's not meant to come from that place. It is coming from an energy where I'm trying to learn so I can improve my stream. But when I asked that question and they were just sitting there, literally sitting there in front of their screen, actively doing their gameplay, actively on the computer, I knew that they were there. They were actively turned on the stream, and I was flat out ignored. I just saw them sitting there for minutes on end, and I was so bummed. I'm not trying to be petty. I'm gonna say that so often because I swear it's not coming from that energy. It's me trying to learn from it and describe what I expect from like myself. Like this is gonna be an expectation I put on myself. But for me, I did move after that experience onto different creators, and I did actually cancel my subscription because I realized, sure, my petty $5 means nothing to them, but I did feel like me asking a basic question to someone that claims to be an expert in World of Warcraft healing, like that's one thing. Like I was also tuned in not only for the personality but also the content there, and like when I did ask one of my rare questions, like I think that I send an average of like one message every like 5 months. Like I'm not the type to ask it, but like these changes were really recent and I'm like, no one's talking about this, no guide's talking about this, is this good? But yeah, I just asked a question on adaptive swarm on Resto Druid, and I don't know, I guess it wasn't important. Maybe that's just me being introverted or shy, I don't know. But when I see you literally right there, literally in front of the computer with like the stream setup going, because like you are, when you turn on the stream, when you have a camera on yourself, you should always be very cognizant of that. It's not like that can like slip off of your mind, or at least I certainly hope not. And just seeing that they can't even be bothered to like reply, it's like I was just there thinking, why am I giving $5 a month to help this creator who can't even be bothered as they're literally sitting there streaming? I mean, I just want to be clear, it's not meant to be petty, it's just a personal experience, and I never, ever want a viewer of mine to feel that. So it's something that I learned from that experience, and I'm taking forward with me, is why I brought it up. So this being my fourth and final point for this video is engagement, and I found it impossible to find myself engaged with the stream if they're not engaged with me or the community in some fashion. Bigger streamers, like my third point suggested, massively are at a loss here, but for me, if I'm in a streamer's chat and seeing messages go in, rarely sent from me, if ever, to be clear, as I said before, but actually, I don't even think in Asmongold's chat, even over all the years, I don't think I've sent more than 2 messages over years. And that's a decade now of him across YouTube and Twitch, which is kind of crazy to think about, but That's how introvert I am, whatever. But if I see people sending messages to a streamer who's getting like one message every 3 minutes, and the streamer is not replying, I'm really going to disconnect. I realize not every moment in game is possible to do that, like Savage or Ultimate Progression, or like the podcast, as I was saying before, like with the donations and like needing to slot a time. Okay, I get that, but it's kind of like, to that point, it's like I said before, I don't watch Savage or Ultimate Progression. I don't think I've tuned into a single stream of Savage or Ultimate Progression once this expansion, unless there is a creator that I'm friends with to support them. Yeah, not even once, I'm pretty sure. And even, yeah, not once. Like, but for me, I want to say, like, the streamer could be walking in nature. They could be going to Taco Bell for Baja Blast. They could be doing housing videos for Final Fantasy or Elder Scrolls Online. But if they're at least engaging with their audience, I stop caring too much for the content that they're working on. Now, that sounds bad, but, like, it's not meant to be bad. It's kind of like my first point. I'm there for the banter. I'm there for the insight. I'm there for the creator and the personality. And I'm not really watching a stream so that I can watch a housing video put together or watch someone order food. Like, I've done that myself so many times over the years. Like, I'm only in my 20s, but, like, come on, man. Like, I've ordered food. But, like, I don't need to watch a stream either on how to clear E10 Savage. Like, if I need to know that, I open up MTQ's video, and I've had it on farm for ages now with my static. It's not content I will watch, but that engagement and the banter and the audience is huge to me, and that's what will make me watch. So now let's cap off this video. As I said, the point of this video and why this is so huge is that I'm trying to break down into multiple parts and videos my in-depth thoughts on streaming. And as I said, I'm seriously taking streaming very seriously, as I do plan to do it soon, and I just need to lay my thoughts out. And for me, I do want to do it intrinsically because I want to do it. I think as soon as someone's like, oh, I take it very seriously, like, if I want to do something, I do it really seriously. It's just like, I don't half-butt much things. When I go into something, I very much lay out my thoughts, I plan it, I think very much about it, and so I'm just deeply thinking about it. It's like at the start of this video, I said it's probably me using intellectualization to nail down exactly where my thoughts are and really process what's going on, and ironically, using a video paint my thoughts to help me move forward. But I do hope this showcases that. That's why I'm really at a stream, is these reasons. That is why I'm engaging with this creator. I'm not there to watch a video, I'm there to watch a live performance of sorts. It's like you can watch many movies like Moulin Rouge, but if you want to watch it in a live performance, you have different expectations. Likewise, there are going to be many different ways that you can conduct a live performance, but there are things I prefer or dislike between various mediums. Like, there are things you will get in a movie that you can't get from a live performance, and vice versa. Like, there is a dramatic difference between what I expect from a live performance of Moulin Rouge versus the movie of Moulin Rouge. Or if you are going to a good live comedy performance or a good live drag performance versus watching them on YouTube. But I'm not, like, getting these points, like, how to say it. If I'm not getting what I'm looking for in this video, I'm not going to be at the stream. But yeah, I guess that's probably going to be the best way to close this video. Yeah, anyhow, that's all for this video. Please take care, and honestly, I mean it from, like, the bottom of my heart. Like, please take care, and please stay safe, everyone. Like, seriously. Anyhow, that's all for this one. Take care and be safe.